Hey designer toy fans, are you looking for a new store to check out?
Yes, we are!
Have you ever been to Rotofugi in Chicago, Illinois?
No, we haven't!
Well, you might want to check it out. It's been there since July of 2004, and they have everything designer toys. Everything you can imagine that would be designer toys, including Kid Robot,
Pins,
Safubi,
plush,
Pop Vinyl,
and so much more.
Make sure to head over to rotofugi.com and check out their online store as well, where you can pick up things and have them delivered right to your door. But if you're in the Chicago area, make sure to stop in and say hi to the Rotofugi crew.
Hey everyone, welcome to the UVD Weekly Wrap-Up, the show where the team from UrbanVinylDaily.com goes over everything there is to know in the designer toy, art, street art, and Safubi world. I'm your host, Travis Likens.
And I'm Ben Pierce.
And we're back.
Back again. Guess who's back? Tell a friend.
For episode 49.
65. We just haven't posted a bunch of episodes.
There's a whole bunch of lost episodes. No, that's actually not the case. We have been on a 3-month hiatus. We're going to call it summer
3-hour tour.
We're going to call it summer vacation. That's what we'll call it. But we're here for episode 49, which we have entitled
Out with the old,
In with the New. So you guys may have been wondering where we have been.
or what the title means.
But-
out with our old recording space, in with a new recording space.
But actually, we did receive an email.
One single email.
One single email. Someone asking where we've been and what we've been up to. So we wanted to share with everybody kind of what we've been up to and why we haven't been posting videos. So the short answer to that question is...
We both, because of our beards, joined an Amish village
Commune.
and okay, fine. Mennonite commune, and built our own houses.
No, so actually we just moved to new houses, both of us, ironically, at the same time, which was totally not planned.
They say they were brothers, but we really aren't. But we moved into different houses about the same time.
Almost exactly the same time, like one weekend apart. So we've been both kind of busy painting and rearranging, fixing and rearranging our homes so that we could be ready to, kind of live our lives. But in the meantime, we sold a lot of, we, as in Travis and my wife, Jenny, we sold a lot of our furniture. So we actually didn't have not only a place to do it in, we also don't have a place to film yet. So that's why we're just doing audio only for this particular video. But we felt like we've waited long enough to not update you guys. So
And bust off the cobwebs. I can't even speak anymore. That's
Yep.
how practice I am.
So Ben is still unable to talk on the microphone. There's nothing new there. Nothing has changed since June 7th, which was the last time we actually gave you a weekly update. So, but other than that, UVD Toys was chugging along the whole time. We were actually, last time we left you guys, we were talking about an exciting time where we were launching a Kickstarter.
And then we hit an iceberg.
And then we failed at that Kickstarter. So Willow, in case you guys hadn't heard, was not funded. And we're currently kind of going back through what worked and what didn't work with that project. And maybe eventually we will see that project come back to life. But until we figure out kind of maybe some numbers on that, right now it's just on hold. So if you're looking for Willow and you liked it, if you wouldn't mind just shooting over emails to uvdtoys@gmail.com and tell us what you liked about Willow and what you didn't like. We're kind of, like I said, in a market research type situation on that project right now. So anything that you would like to share with us, just send it over. Other things going on in the world of UVD Toys during the hiatus is that we had the Long Night Luna edition of our Luna figure. So it's the gray edition of our figures of Luna, and it actually is $75. $75, Jesus.
75 pieces.
We can't read it all. It's actually an edition of 75 pieces and currently available for $60 each over in uvdtoys.com. It's doing pretty well for us. We really like this monotone looking edition. If you're a fan of gray toys, this is right up your alley because it's got about 4 shades of gray on it. Other than that, we did release some more enamel piñata. We have 2 new designs that we added to that collection, one being Flying Fortress, the famous designer toy and street artist. He created a nice little Fame Fat Cap Dog pin for us. And then we also have a pin from Allie Burke that has a nice little Halloween theme. So if you're getting ready for the fall / Halloween, holidays, time frames. I don't know what you want to call that.
It reminds me of someone who ate too many Starburst or Skittles and then just oozing the colors.
Candy corn.
Didn't pick that up.
Yeah, she's got candy corn. Come on.
That did not look like candy corn.
Okay,
There
so
were too many different colors.
Ben has not been paying attention at all for the past 3 months.
We shut the site down. We just shut down the car. We just took the tires off and set it on cinder blocks.
So we
had to walk away from it.
So we actually did have that pen. Those are both available for $10 each, and we do still have some pens available from Mike Giant and Pez as well. But enough with what we've been doing. Let's talk about what we are doing. So we have an announcement to make. It's kind of a sad announcement. It's kind of partially why the title is the way it is, but after 7 years of blogging and doing all kinds of stuff via our site, urbanvinyldaily.com, we think it's come time to end maintenance of that site. So it's just blogging for us is not a priority anymore. And videos are kind of, the videos that we do are now our outlet for releasing news and, kind of telling you guys the things that are going on in the world of designer toys. So we don't feel that we are doing justice to the site. So the people that still do check the site regularly, we appreciate it. But if you noticed, it hasn't been updated since July. And before that, there was an even longer period of time since it had been updated.
Probably like Christmas or Decon.
I want to say there might have been a Willow post, but it's been a long time since we put anything on that site, and it's time. It's time for us to move on. We are currently in talks with another blog about porting over many of our past interviews and things like that, so those are not lost forever.
Since we feel that's good context for a lot of artists' careers, because there were a couple artists that we caught pretty early on in their rise to fame.
Yeah, so we're hoping we can negotiate that and get that all taken care of for you guys. So those are still available, and people can go back and read them. And hopefully, if a new site posts them, they will get some new eyes on them. I mean, we did a ton of interviews from the 2010, 11 time frame through like 2014. There was a period of time where we were doing 2 a month. So there was like 20. There was a year where there was like 24 interviews.
When you could tell that we had nothing better to do.
And we'd really like to keep those living on, and we hope that you guys still enjoy finding them. Those are some of the things, as we've like stopped posting. Those are some of the things that actually do still pull in a lot of hits on our site. So people are looking for this information. So we just want to keep keep it out there for people, and we don't want the artist to lose the advantage of having that out on the internet. So we'll let you know more on that once we get everything together for
Buttoned
it.
Up.
We do let you know that currently the site is down. So if you try to go to urbanvinyldaily.com, you will be forwarded to UVDtoys.com over to our store. But if you're trying to keep up with Urban Vinyl Daily, UVD Weekly Wrap Up, UVD Toys, you can always check us out on Instagram at Urban Vinyl Daily. For the moment, I don't know what we're doing with that yet, but so we'll see what we're going to change or do. We've got a whole rollout that we're planning to do. We're just kind of giving you guys a heads up for the people that listen to our show, what's kind of happening. But
speaking of things closing up,
on that note, we do have one other thing that we want to talk about. We are going to be at DesignerCon 2000. What is it now? 17?
Yes.
Yes. So November 11th and 12th, we are at booth TF16. It is UVD Toys and the bots sharing a 2x6 table. So
where you cannot fit 30 people in at the same time.
So it's going to be tight. But yeah, so we're going to have to work that out. But, if you've, we're trying to get a DesignerCon booth, or if you're planning to go to DesignerCon, just know it's very hard to get a booth. So everybody there is going to be hopefully there. I mean,
so like with most landlocked cities, you can't build out, you can't build back, you can only build up.
So we're going to be building up.
You're going to have ladders to get up to the toys.
So I can kind of give you guys a little bit of a teaser about what we're working on for that. We are talking some new pin designs for the Enamel Pinata series. We will hopefully have some prototypes on display. We will also have some of our Lunas available for you guys, Luna pens, and the bots are planning to bring along a lot of cool stuff as well. So it should be a pretty full little booth. So if you want to come check that out, that again is booth TF16.
The freaking 16.
The freaking 16. That is our booth name. No, but it is over in the new section. So if you attended DesignerCon last year, There was a new section that was added off to the left side, so it's not the main hall, it's not the ballroom, it's like the other room, and we're over in the other room, or TF16. It sounds like it's like a Terminator or something. Like
TF16.
Yeah, so we're over there,
the future,
chilling out, doing our thing. So
at least there's a bathroom nearby.
in the meantime, other things that were going on during this period of time that we were on hiatus was crazy things like SDCC. Looked like a lot of really cool stuff coming out there. Looks like Ben's favorite Jermaine Rogers was knocking it out of the park with lots of really cool stuff. Luke Chu also showed off a very cool project involving animation for his artwork called Grief Encounters. That was funded, so that's happening. But the other exciting toy news involved in that. The other exciting toy news involved in the Grief Encounters was that they revealed that they're doing a 10-year anniversary figure of the prisoner, or not prisoner, the possessed. So that's pretty cool. It looks like they retooled it, made it a little better, and excited to see more news on that. You could have got a black one via Grief Encounters, but I'm excited to see if they do like the OG. I missed that figure back early on, so I'd like to get this new one and add it to my Luke Chu collection.
Indeed.
So another thing that was announced last Friday that we're pretty sad about. I mean, I'm not saying I was terribly surprised by it, but Ohio is losing its designer toy hub
in the capital of Ohio, Columbus.
Yeah, Columbus. So Columbus, Ohio Rivet Gallery is closing. So if you guys have been following designer toys for a long period of time, you'll know that Rivet is one of the original kind of designer toy stores. It is a small store. It's not a huge store, but they've had many events over the years that we have attended, including things like release parties back when that was a big thing. Lots of countless art shows. They had early shows with people like Scott Tullison, Dr. A, Jeff Lamb,
Andrew
Bell, just lots and lots of people. And it's very, very sad to see that it won't be there anymore. So she is, and Laura, the owner of the store, is not
she's not giving up,
completely going away. She is going to have an online presence still over at rivetart.com. That's the store that she currently runs. And she's also going to be doing curation. So she'll be curating shows, I'm assuming, throughout Columbus. She didn't really say if it was like only in Ohio or not. But it's still just a big blow. I mean, it's one of those, it's another store going down in the brick and mortar world. We're quickly losing more and more of these all the time. So it's I don't want to say, I guess it's a sign of the times. But it still just sucks. We lose those hubs. It is hard for people to get out. I mean, get out and, go to these places all the time when they're doing these parties and doing these art shows and stuff like that. I mean, I know there were shows I wanted to go to that I couldn't make it to just because I'm like 70 miles away.
Or there's shows that we wanted to go to that we learned the weekend after.
Yeah. So sometimes it's just about getting the news out there, getting the word out. But it's one of those things that it's not surprising, but it's not a happy day or a happy surprise, I guess you would say, if it was a surprise. So good luck to Laura, though. We're excited to see what she has planned for the future. If you're looking for some designer toys, she does have some cool stuff that's still in the store. I think she said she's ending everything at the end of September, or no, at the end of October.
I thought so, yeah.
Yeah, so the end of October. So you still have some time if you live in the Columbus area to go over there, say hi to Laura, say goodbye, say your goodbyes to the store. Whatever you want to do. She does have some cool art on the wall currently. There's some stuff there from Jeff Lamb, and I believe there's another show that was going on at the same time. So if you want to go check that out, head over to High Street and check out Rivet before it closes. Yeah. Probably wasn't the best news story to start. Like we basically said, okay, we're shutting down Urban Vinyl Daily and have Rivet's closing.
Well, that's why I kind of went into continuing the closing, because your microphone is blocking the fact that we were at Decon.
So
so it got sandwiched.
So
unfortunately, it got sandwiched is what happened to it.
So it's kind of a sad day here for designer toys. Not exactly a day, but a sad time for some things at designer toys. But it's crazy because at the same time, it's like toys are like flourishing as well. Like so many toys from like Asia are just selling out like crazy. And the toy shows like STGCC over in Singapore are just like lines around the block and people sign all kinds of stuff. It's just like right now in America or Western vinyl or whatever you want to say, it just seems like it's like the party's like stagnant, even though it's not.
I mean, that's pseudo been the case for the past couple of years anyway, with the huge kaiju following.
Yeah, well, and not all that stuff though at STGCC is kaiju. I mean, like Mighty Jax has a ton of stuff over there, and Pober and all those people are releasing stuff that's not necessarily like Safubi kaiju-ish.
Oh, they don't really show up much around here as far as shows.
Well, yeah, as far as like releasing for like Mighty Jax and stuff like that, it's because like it's really hard for them to actually come here. And then it's really hard for the retailers to actually get a lot of their product because they've decided to go a different route from having a U.S. distribution. So they're actually doing these things where their release to a retailer means they sell it to them at like 60 or 70% of the price, and then by the time that the retailer ships it here, they maybe make $10. So it's not really worth their time, I guess you would say. And it's getting harder and harder for retailers, not only from a sales perspective, but it's also getting harder for retailers from a like availability to get the things that people want. So it's like the whole industry is moving solely to direct to customer sales, which we've beat that whole horse. Like there's a whole episode where we just beat the hell out of it.
Though I guess before we transition to news, we lost an artist in the scene. I mean, he didn't die, but
yeah, well, yeah, this is part of the whole like closing. Actually, Ben killed him off, but he's not really dead. But I mean, at the same time as Rivet's announcing their closing, we're shutting down our site. We're not saying either. We're not saying our shutting down our site is like anywhere near either of these closing or shutting down.
Hucky was the one. He's I guess getting out.
Yeah, so he is ending the Hucky like studio, which how that affects Designer Toys, if you haven't heard already, is that means essentially he's ending the custom production that he does via his studio. So the runs of 10 or the blank figure that he produces in-house that he's painting himself or painting with his crew of people that work with him, he's ending that. But at the same time, he's still continuing his stuff with Mighty Jax, and he's still he gave production rights to some of his resin stuff over to Clutter to continue the blank and whatever else they're going to run with in the Huck world. So Huck is not necessarily gone, I guess you would say, but he announced that essentially his focus is changing from Designer Toys onto a new adventure. But he's still going to be around, and he's still going to be releasing product. So it's not the end of Huck, but again, it's still just here's another thing, another small checkpoint, I guess, in the whole designer toy world where you look and it's like, this is closing, this person's stopping. How many artists are just stopping and they didn't announce it?
Or even how many of the original artists that started with, say, a Kid Robot or started with in the beginning are even left in the scene, really, which is less than a handful. Yeah.
I mean, it's if you look, there's it just seems like a trend of things. I'm not saying like any one of these things is going to topple it, but it's one of those things where you're just looking, you're just like, what is going on and what does it mean for the future of designer toys? Maybe it's time for us to do a revisit of that conversation, have the state of the scene too.
The dose
1 year later or something. I don't know. Maybe we'll think about that, and maybe we'll, kind of have that conversation.
Ben, have you ever been to Chicago?
Well, yes, I have, Travis.
Well, next time you're there, you should make sure to stop and check out this place called Galerie F.
Wow, I've never heard of them before. Where are they located?
They are found at 2415 North Milwaukee Avenue in Chicago, Illinois, and they feature some of the best artists that you can find around.
Really?
They have a major focus on local Chicago artists like J.C. Rivera, Elo, Penny Pinch, T. Monet, and many, many more. And they also bring in people from all over the country and world.
Wow, I'll really have to check them out. Hopefully there's a brewery down the street.
Yeah, you can get yourself a drink and then head over and check out all the posters and original screen prints that they do offer as well in the gallery.
Do they have a downstairs gallery?
Yes, they do. It's called The Underground. You can check out this and more by heading over to GalerieF.com.
But we do want to give you some news. We didn't want to bore you completely with things that we were doing and things that were going on while we were gone. We do want to give you new news. So we're going to start out with something from Galerie F. So Galerie F is getting ready to launch a new show called the Brujas Brew. The artwork of, we've had multiple debates on how to say this, Zaya, Zay? I don't know. We don't know. It's either Zay or Zaya. It's Zeye. And Lady Luz. So essentially, the Chicago and Oakland collide as Galerie F presents a collection of new works by Zaya and Lady Luz. Their first collaboration exhibit, Bruja Brew, opens at Galerie F Underground, which if you've been to Galerie F, they have the main floor gallery and they do have a lower section. It opens on Friday, September 29th from 6 to 10 p.m. and will be on view until October 22nd. And it features a public mural that's on the front of their store. And then the indoor installation, which includes 3D works. So if you happen to be around Galerie F on September 29th, you'll want to go head over and check out this awesome new exhibit. Looks like a really cool show. I don't know. I'm excited to see what they do with it. I wish I could go, actually. There's some cool looking 3D stuff that they're going to be doing.
We do just live 5 hours away, so.
I have to work. It's the end of the fiscal year.
Oh, that's true. No rest for you. So my first piece of news is Juan Munez, 3D Retro, Monkey King, Luke Chu, and I'm sure whomever else wants to try to claim ownership of this collaboration are getting together this Saturday, September 16th, to release a Juan Munez head for the Headspace figure, which for those of you who've been living under a rock and haven't been paying attention for a couple of years, it is the
me
the Monkey King produced body where it has a bear head in it, and you can interchange the heads back and forth. So it's based on a Luke Chu painting series where it had Darth Vader, Salvador Dali, blah blah blah, and so Juan Munez, whose character head is Philippe, who, if again you've been living under a rock, is pretty much a blank face character with a bunny helmet on.
Pretty much, yeah.
So signing going down from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Glendale.
Burbank adjacent.
This coming Saturday in California.
So it looks like a cool release. It's pretty cool to see Luke's character being opened up to additional artists and seeing collaboration kind of expanding past just Luke's work and pop culture. So we'll see if more of this happens in the future. I know when they initially announced the figures for the Headspace, there was cool things that they had talked about doing more of. So maybe this is kind of the beginning.
Yep.
We reviewed the Rotofugi exclusive version of it. So it's a pretty cool little figure. I don't know if they're going to be selling the heads separate. Do you know?
I know for the longest time they've talked about it, but they've never kind of made true with that.
But it would be cool if you could just pick up the heads, like the little Philippe head for your...
I know for the longest time they said they'd be blind box, but they never really went through with that.
Yep. So who knows? Maybe we'll find out more about that in the future. So moving on, though, we have some news coming our way from Clutter. So they are releasing a new edition of the OctoDunny, the blue flame, the blue fade
We're really
edition.
sucking today.
It's officially licensed with the friends at Kid Robot, so they're not just making these resin bootleg dunnies like some people do. They're actually officially licensed. Are releasing, let's see, what day? Friday, September 15th. So this Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. And it features like a sculpted inner guts that happens to be like a octopus looking thing, and it's handcrafted and hand sculpted inside by Death Chops, and it's called the Octo Taku. Yeah,
you really chose the easy ones, didn't you?
I did. I chose all the ones I was going to butcher, but in this case it is cast in gossamer blue / green, super glow in the dark resin, and it features an external blue fade skin. So that's like the inside of it's going to be glow in the dark, and then the resin on the outside is the blue fade. It looks really cool. They've released some of these in the past and been pretty popular. This one in particular is limited to 25 pieces and will retail for $150 a piece. They had an issue with one of these before where I guess there was some confusion on the release number. Like only some were available at one event and some were available at another event. And Clutter did the right thing. They said, you know what? We were confusing. We weren't clear. And they pulled the extra ones and said, nope, not a part of the edition.
All right.
So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool on Clutter for, standing up and not selling the pieces because people were confused. So if you missed out on the confused part and you're still looking to pick one of these up, make sure to head over to shop.cluttermagazine.com this Friday, September 15th at noon Eastern Standard Time and grab one for yourself.
Hey everyone, this is Travis Likens from the UVD Weekly Wrap-Up, and we're here today to tell you about a store.
We've got strange cat toys, they've got toys for you, and some beard supplies, so check them out.
StrangeCatToys.com, where you'll receive 10% off if you use the code UVD at checkout.
Jeremiah Kettner has 3 pins. One is a mermaid, one is a bunny, and the third one is a squirrel or chipmunk, whichever persuasion you have. It has an acorn, so whichever way you want to go with that. They've been available since this past Monday, which is September 11th, and they are available on his site. And he said there is a special price if you buy all 3 of them from him.
Yes, so they're all combined there. It looks like pretty cool, pretty cute, just like you'd expect from Jeremiah Kettner. So if you're a fan, you probably already pre-ordered them. If you didn't know about it, now's your chance. So get them before they are gone. So next up on the list, we have news coming our way from Corey Helford Gallery. On Saturday, September 23rd in downtown Los Angeles, Corey Helford Gallery will premiere the long-awaited solo exhibition featuring work of
Deface.
So Deface is back, and his only solo show that will be happening in the United States will be taking place at Corey Helford Gallery, called Happily Never Ending. So the show will feature a ton of new works. If you've been paying attention to Deface's Instagram, there's a lot of really, 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 really cool stuff that he's doing. Some of which looks like it's like old advertising, and he's like painting over top of it and creating like, making it his own way. He's also got a lot of original canvases it looks like he's working on as well. So I'm really excited to see all the pieces that he puts together. So if you happen to be in the Los Angeles area on September 23rd, you're going to want to go check this out. I believe the show starts at 7. They didn't put it in this particular version of the press release that I'm looking at, so I'm going to say 7. If I'm wrong, you'll show up early or late. I don't know.
Either way, stuff will still be there. So, last piece I think out of me is that Jermaine Rogers recently showed off a teaser image of a piece that has been long prototyped for, I think, 5+ years and recently made available through the kind folks of Mana doing the casting, called the Diro Belief figure, which is essentially the bare body with the hands raised in, like what I would call the Praise Jesus from
Touchdown
Ohio.
Jesus.
Touchdown Jesus. If you're from Ohio or have driven along 75 through Ohio between Dayton and Cincinnati, you will know what we're talking about.
Or watched Robin Big, R.I.P. Big.
I know.
They drove by.
Yeah, they did. So, no exact details, I guess, as of this recording, but I would assume it is coming within the next weeks because he's been holding them back since SDCC, and it's about time that these came out.
Awesome. They looked really cool. Hopefully we'll see some more at DesignerCon.
I would imagine so.
Because he kind of alluded to that in an interview that the Toy Geeks did, so hopefully we'll see.
I would have to imagine if they went to all this trouble of casting it and doing it, that they're not just going to do it the one time.
Yep. So if you're part of the loyal Jermaine Rogers following, you'll want to make sure to get those DCon VIP badges that let you in early.
Or if anyone wants to pick me up one, since I will not be there this year.
See, Ben is lame.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so next up, and the final piece of news I think for this week is that Death's Vault has announced the return of Mutant Vinyl Hardcore's Black Sabbath in the 2nd edition, aka Black Sabbath 2. Will be taking place on October 8th, the Sunday of New York Comic Con, and they'll be starting the lottery the lottery ticket give out at 2 p.m. Show starting at 3. You can RSVP by sending an email to mvhrsvp@gmail.com. And this show is going to feature a whole slew of one-off pieces from one Mutant Vinyl Hardcore. So it's going to be packed, I am sure, and people are going to be basically punching each other in the face. No, I'm just kidding. They won't be punching each other in the face, but people will be really sad if they miss out on these. So you don't want to be the person that's not there.
Speaking of Death's Vault in Connecticut, how was it?
Yes. Recently I attended Death's Vault for the Paul Kaiju Ring of Fire show, which took place, that was like a couple weekends ago. So Labor Day weekend. And at the show, they had tons of pieces by Paul, many of them collaborations where Paul took pieces from MVH and mashed them together with his original sculpts himself and made them into a giant piece of vinyl that was hand painted by him, making it really, really awesome and really, really desirable. So it was a pretty cool place. They had tons of food and drinks and even a snow cone machine that you could get stuff out of. It was all free just for coming and hanging out. And it was really cool. It was really cool to meet a lot of people. There were people there that actually had watched the UVD Weekly Wrap Up. That's pretty cool. I got recognized.
Oh. I have a side story, but it has nothing to do with this, of me being recognized.
So, but it was pretty cool. Checking out the gallery. It's a nice little space where Rich has there. He's done a lot of work to make it really, really awesome. And it was just a lot of fun. A lot of fun hanging out, talking with people, and checking out Connecticut altogether. There was lots of cool things to do. We got to try some breweries, and we got to try some pretty good pizza and stuff like that while we were there. And always cool. We drove, so it's always really cool to see the country and go different ways. So we actually went a way that was a little different on the way back than when we came. So we actually did briefly dip our toe into New York City and then quickly left. So we did cross the George Washington Bridge, though. So I guess we could say we were in New York City for a second. So, but that's really all we have for this week. Does Ben want to tell his story about being recognized on the air or not?
Sure. It has nothing really to do with anything. But so new community that I moved into. Neighbor down the street apparently is an old man that paints in his spare time as his retirement hobby. Walk over because I've never met him before and want to introduce myself as a neighbor. And so his great-granddaughter comes out and was like, I recognize you. She's like 5 years old, so she's probably just like imagining that she saw me. She's like, I saw you on YouTube. Well, I guess you could have. So I was like, well, what did you watch? I don't know. I just remember seeing you. And then her mom's like, would she have seen you? I was like, yeah, I'm on YouTube. Not in like a weird way, but like I'm on YouTube.
Did they verify whether or not she'd really seen you?
She would not say much more other than I saw you. And she wouldn't like give much more for like context. And so like I was trying to describe like in a non like weirdly random thing like why I would be on YouTube. Yeah, I'm on this video podcast with my friend and we talk about art and bullshit and stores closing. And all this other stuff. And it really didn't like prompt the little girl to say anything more other than like the fact that she was convinced that she'd seen me on YouTube.
So we have unconfirmed status that we're really popular with 5-year-olds. That's what I took away from this.
And like I couldn't figure out like what she would have been watching in order to like land on this. Like
maybe she was watching like a toy review or something and we got suggested. Who knows? We're suggested for ages 5 and up. I don't So, but that kind of wraps up the week. As always, you can check us out over on our various social medias, which you'll see at the end of this thing.
But not blog.
Yeah, you won't be able to go to urbanvinyldaily.com anymore, except if you want to go to our store and check out all the cool things we have available for you to purchase and support us with. But other than that, as always, I'm Travis.
And I'm Ben.
Have a great designer toy day. Thanks for checking out our video right here on youtube.com/urbanvinyldaily. While you're here, make sure to give us a subscribe and a like. And if you're so gracious, you can share this video on your favorite social network. You can always give us a follow on Instagram or Twitter @urbanvinyldaily, or find us on Facebook by going to facebook.com/urbanvinyldaily, and you'll be able to keep up with our latest posts and information going on in the world of UVD. If you want to help us out in more of a monetary way, you can always head over to our store, urbanvinyldaily.storeenvy.com, and check out all the awesome things we have available from great artists from all over the world. Or you can head over to our PayPal and just straight up donate to us to help us keep the lights on and keep things going by going to paypal.com and sending money over to urbanvinyldaily@gmail.com. And that will help us out in more ways than you know. If you want to keep up with everything going on in the world of UVD, make sure to head over to urbanvinyldaily.com. Or if you're interested in sponsorship information, a comment, or a question, make sure to head over to urbanvinyldaily@gmail.com and send us a message. And if it's good enough, we'll answer it right here on the UVD Weekly Wrap Up. As always, this has been an Urban Vinyl Daily production.